Hey guys, it's Aman
And Christina
from Our Rich Journey. On today's video, we are going to talk about money moves you should make before the age of 30. Now, we have been getting a lot of questions from very young investors, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, asking us for advice on things that they should be doing right now to prepare for financial independence. Well, on today's video, we are going to give you guys 10 different tips that you can start doing right now.
Number one is to establish a financial mentor. Now, this should be someone that you want to aspire to be. Someone who is interested in real estate, if you're interested in real estate, or someone who invests in stocks, if you're interested in investing in stocks. But this is someone that you should be able to turn to when you have questions about finances.
So with your mentor, what you don't want to do is kind of get this confused with doing exactly what they did. That is not the purpose of having a mentor. It's really impossible to mimic their exact footsteps because their situation and your situation, or the time in which you are coming up versus the time in which they come up, is completely different. What's most important is that with your mentor, you want to understand their thought process, how they approached each one of their financial situations. And with that information, it will guide your thought process as you develop your businesses or invest in real estate or invest in stocks and bonds. And number two is learn to ask questions. I mean, ask a lot of questions. Ask so many questions that it is almost uncomfortable. So money touches almost every aspect of our lives. And if there is something you don't understand, there should be a question that you are asking about money.
So if you're purchasing a home or a car or really any type of purchase, you should be asking questions if you don't understand something. I think when we're at the earlier stages of our lives, sometimes we tend not to ask questions because we think we're going to look stupid. But you need to ask these questions. Don't worry what other people think about you.
And even till this day, we are still asking questions that we already know the answers to. In a way, we're testing the people that are selling us something or the investment that we're going into. We are checking their knowledge. So the question asking process is something that you should be doing your entire life. And number three is be as mobile as possible. So this means maybe you go off to college, or maybe after college, you don't go back to your hometown, you go around the world. Christina and I, we started traveling around the world and working abroad when we were 23 years old. We could have went back to our hometown like many of our friends did, but we looked for opportunities wherever they took us.
And number four is automate your money. The younger you do this, the better off you're going to be. When you automate your money, you move it over into savings and into investments, and you put it aside and you don't even touch it. And with compound interest, it grows and grows and grows.
And automating your savings and investments is all about the pay yourself first mentality. Because if you take that right off the top, out of your paycheck immediately and put it into an investment account, it's like you never received the money. And if you do that your entire life, you will be rich. And number five is take on a customer service job. You know, my first job was working at Rite Aid, and afterward that I worked at McDonald's and I worked at Champ Sports. I had all of these jobs where I was in this customer service environment. And while I was there, I picked up a lot of different skills. One, I learned how to work with people, how to work in challenging situations, but I also got to see how a business is run. And these were these skills that eventually really came in handy when we started our businesses, when we started investing. I mean, Christina, tell everyone about your first job.
Okay, well, my first job was at Sizzler. So I was the greeter originally, and then I became a server. I was actually a really terrible server. I was hovering over tables, and I was just a really bad server, but I learned from that experience. I really learned how to interact with people more, how to be a better person in terms of customer service, and I was able to take those skills into my next job where I did a much better job. And number six is take responsibility for everything. I mean everything. Everything that's good, everything that's bad, it's your responsibility. Don't put that on anyone else. Don't put it on your siblings, don't put it on your parents, don't put it on your boss. And the reason why I say this is because when you take responsibility, you own your circumstances, you own your situation. And the reason why this is so good is by owning the situation, you know that you can also do things to change it.
And number seven is avoid lifestyle creep. So the more money you make, the more money you spend. But some of those purchases will have long-lasting effects. So when you start making serious moolah, maybe you want to go out and buy a BMW. Well, you're going to be paying off that BMW for a very long time. It's going to set you back. Or maybe you buy a humble house, but you want to get this dream house because you have this dream salary. Do you really need that dream house, or are you just aspiring to spend more money? These are things that have far-lasting implications, because the more money you make, it shouldn't be about the more money you spend. It should be about the more money you're able to save and invest. And number 8 is take risks. You are young. You are young enough to take a risk, fail, and totally recover. It's okay. In fact, me and Christina, when we were 23 years old, we took a huge risk by moving to Spain. We had great jobs in San Diego, and we quit them to try something brand new. Well, taking those jobs in Spain ended up changing our lives significantly. It was the best thing we ever did. But before we did it, people thought we were crazy.
And that's the power of taking those calculated risks when you're young. As you get older, those risks weigh heavier on you. If you fail, it becomes more of a problem or might be harder, a bigger setback. But when you're younger, it's a great opportunity to take those risks. And number 9 is develop a side hustle.
Wait, a side hustle? I mean, we had like 5 or 6 side hustles. I mean, you are young. You should be hustling your butt off. This is the time to just be doing everything at once. You don't have kids. You don't have a mortgage. You should be on the grind.
So what I love about the idea of starting a side hustle when you're younger is that you can turn these side hustles into something completely bigger. You can create a business out of your side hustle. Or if you really love your side hustle, once you reach financial independence, you can quit your job and just focus on your side hustle and do that for fun.
And side hustles can also generate passive income. You may have set up a side hustle in your youth that you are still getting paid in your old age. They can be really something amazing. And number 10 is devour as much personal finance information as possible. You should be reading books, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube channels, but try to learn as much as you can about money. Because that for us has been the most powerful thing to help us towards financial independence is education. Because with that education, we are armed. We are not afraid to invest. We are not afraid to take risks. We have all the information that's necessary to do these things. And it's because at a very young age, not too young, but at a young age, we started to educate ourselves. So those are our 10 personal finance moves or money moves that someone should make before age 30. But if you're 40, you can still make these moves. If you're 50, it's all good. But if you know someone that's under 30, please share this video with them. The information in it might be able to help them achieve financial independence. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and join the journey.